Hello, everyone. Thanks for tuning in today. I'm super excited because today I get to chat with actually one of my clients. I am here with Blake Knoll, who owns First Insurance down in Marksville, Louisiana. And I've been working with him on his social media for a few months now, and we've gotten to form a really good relationship. And I'm super excited about some tips and advice that he has for y'all. So stay tuned because he has some information on possibly being able to save some money on your car insurance. So that's super cool. So Blake, how's it going?
It's good. How are you, Lydia?
I'm doing great. Why don't you just tell us a little bit more about First Insurance and what you do and all of that?
Well, First Insurance has been in business for over 30 years. I became the owner here 2.5 years ago, and we are a retail insurance agency, and we sell just about all different lines and types of insurance. So what differentiates us from the other insurance companies that people may be more familiar with, like State Farm and Farm Bureau, is we are independent agents. We own our agency, and we have the ability to be able to go out and get appointed by hundreds of different carriers, what gives us the opportunity to be able to shop policies. We're not just contracted with any one carrier, and we can normally insure different types of risk and with better coverages.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. I know I'll plug you a little bit. Blake sent me a few things maybe over a month ago or something like that about how he saved the city of Marksville like tens of thousands of dollars, and he's just sending me this really casually. I'm like, okay, Blake, that's pretty cool. So Blake is very good at what he does, very knowledgeable in the insurance world, and it's been super cool to learn from him as well. So right now, why don't you talk to us a little bit about how First Insurance has adjusted during this current situation, things you're doing differently?
Well, normally at this time of year, this is one of our busiest times of year as far as people coming in, people shopping insurance. It's the springtime. They're more active. Phones are normally ringing all day here. We're at a point now to where, we're down to maybe 10, 20 calls a day. We're also not getting as much walk-in business. Now, some of the things we've done to adjust that and also to protect the staff here, since we are considered an essential business, is we're not allowing the public to come into the office. We have set up a table outside with a drop box in it, and we practice social distancing here. And to be proactive on that, to keep the foot traffic to a minimum here, we have reached out to all of our insureds for the month proactively, let them know that we can collect these payments over electronically, like through credit cards, and also any signatures that are required. We're able to do e-signatures through things like DocuSign. Yeah, that's really cool. I actually didn't know about that Dropbox outside. I think that's kind of a good idea, and probably a thing that a lot of businesses could take into account. So another thing I wanted to chat with you about is something you mentioned to me, that your whole office kind of purged, as you said, some of your old files and paperwork. Talk to us about that. Talk to us about your mindset of why you wanted to do that during this time, and how beneficial it was. Well, we have a little bit more free time right now, and we feel so blessed to be able to have an opportunity to be able to come to work, given the times now and some of the restrictions set on by the government. So one of the things we did is, normally when we would get caught up with our work, we started looking at all the filing cabinets, and there's files that may have been in here for 30 years. So the staff and myself went ahead and started purging, as we described it. And over a week, we were able to actually purge the entire office. And we had a shred company come down and pick everything up. And it actually ended up being about 12,000 pounds of paper that we were able to shred.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was super impressed when you told me that. There are probably lots of people out there in a similar boat. So I think Blake and I would both charge you. Now's the time. If you have been wanting to get rid of all that old paperwork, just go ahead and do it.
Yeah, we can do it. Definitely. We have paper. I had some paper in here that were older than some of my employees.
Yeah. Oh gosh. Yeah, that was crazy to hear about. So, okay, let's jump into kind of the meat, I guess, of this conversation. So I've heard that some insurance companies are refunding a percentage of their customers' rates, monthly premiums, or whatever. You know all the terminology better than I do. So talk to us a little bit more just about maybe who those companies are, what people can do to take advantage of that, any information you have.
Yeah, so most of the personal lines industry has started to refund some of the premium on personal autos. So anything not related to commercial exposure. I know Progressive is doing 20%. State Farm, I think, is doing somewhere around 20% as well. So one of the things that insureds can do is maybe check with their agent to see if the company that their auto is insured with is offering these refunds. And the form that they're giving these refunds is normally, I think it's going to be on May billing or even June billing. They're going to give them a 15% to 25%, whatever that credit was, in a credit on that billing.
Okay, I gotcha. So is that something that, let's say my insurance company is in fact doing that, do I have to make the initial contact and request that? Is it automatically done no matter what?
No, it's going to be automatically done. I think, everybody is in some trying times now. So, we're all trying to budget the best that we can now. And, a couple things that I wanted to talk about in regards to that is the insurance industry has been one of the main industries that have been really proactive in trying to help the consumers in this economy. If you look in a lot of areas of the economy, you've seen price gouging and people trying to take advantage of limited supplies. But the insurance industry has actually been proactive to where they're refunding this money. We do recognize that people are driving less, so there is a little bit less exposure for us. But, they're also trying to help the economy to be able to weather this storm. So, if part of your budgeting process, if you're looking at trying to see what type of essential bills you have coming in, you may want to contact your agent and see what that credit's going to be.
Yeah, definitely. I think that is super awesome. Personally, I don't think I would have ever expected in any insurance companies to do that kind of thing. And I think it's really awesome that they are offering that to their customers, their clients. So thank you so much for that information. Again, just letting people know, if you are interested in finding out if your insurance company does that, reach out to your agent. If you want to learn if you can possibly be saving money on your insurance every month, call Blake.
Well, Lydia, I can tell you this also. What a lot of people are seeing these days is that a lot of payments are being deferred. And what I can talk to about next is going to be on the commercial business side, which has really been impacted in this economy. So the insurance commissioner and the insurance carriers of Louisiana have taken some steps to be able to give some relief to these small businesses. And there's not much talk about it. So hopefully that this video will be able to educate some of these business owners. So there was a rule handed down called Rule 39 by the insurance commissioner that all admitted carriers into the state of Louisiana, the insureds of those businesses can actually go in and request a midterm audit. So what does that mean? Basically, if you're showing that you were going to make on your policy $1 million in sales this year, and then all of a sudden you had to shut your business down, obviously that's probably not going to happen. And if the sales get cut in half, you can actually do a midterm audit and adjust your projection on those sales with your insurance carrier on things like your general liability, or these, a real good example would be to use a restaurant. They've been highly impacted by this. Yeah. So what, some restaurants have liquor liability, they have general liability, and they have work comp. So if you're with an admitted carrier, like Travelers, you could go in there and request a midterm audit. So if you were showing that you had $200,000 in payroll, maybe that's going to get cut in half. You can adjust that with your carrier. You could cut your premium in half there. On your general liability, which a lot of times is related off of sales, if that number is going to be decreased substantially this year, you can adjust that as well too. You know, another thing that a lot of insurance companies are doing is allowing their insureds to defer their payments, which is a really good tactic, but for businesses that don't have income coming in now. Your power companies are allowing you to do that. Now, what I will say is that deferred does not mean forgiven. So just because they're deferring it, you're still going to have to pay it. But if you want to be able to, one of the best ways to impact your bottom line here would be to actually adjust your work comp payroll, your sales, or your employee counts, depending on how these policies are rated, to get that premium lowered and then defer it. You know, if it's lowered, that's premium you won't have to pay. Deferred just means pay at a later date. Now, one of the rules that was set forth by the insurance commissioner is that insurance carriers could not cancel policies for non-payment from March 12th to May 12th. So after May 12th, if people have not made their payments, there's a chance that you may start getting some letters of notice of cancellation for non-payment. Mm-hmm. Now there's a grace period in there. I'm not going to say that they're going to cancel on May 12th, but that's a date that small businesses should be mindful of, because if they haven't made those payments, they need to see if, one, they can defer it later. If they can do that midterm audit, get that down. And, you know, one of the things that you can do with your insurance for people who are trying to budget, if you want to make partial payments on your insurance right now, that is an option as well. And then that'll help you later whenever you do get that revenue rolling back in.
Yeah. Wow. Okay. That was all really beneficial information that I haven't heard anything about, and I think is definitely super important for business owners to be aware of. So hopefully some people that need to see this get to see this. So awesome. I think that's kind of all I had today. Do you have any closing remarks, any words of wisdom to leave the people with?
No, I just think if we can all practice social distancing as best we can now, hopefully we can benefit the numbers here and get the economy kicked back off and get these small businesses rolling again. But in the meantime, even if I'm not people's agent and they would like me to overlook what's going on with their insurance, please give me a call at First Insurance. I'd be more than glad to advise them on what to do and maybe how to approach it with their agent or their insurance carrier.
Awesome. Yeah. Awesome. All right. Well, thanks so much, Blake, for joining me. If anyone watching has any questions, please leave them in the comments below and we will get back to you. I will be tagging First Insurance in this description or comment somewhere so you can go visit their page. Like Blake said, please give them a call if you have any questions about any of the stuff that he mentioned. All right, Blake, thanks so much for talking to me today. Hope you have a great rest of your weekend.
You too, Lydia. Thank you very much.
See ya.